This is not Bob Staunton, genius broadcaster and throat-clearing phlegm spitter. Are you intelligent? If not, then subscribe and like the Tommy Boyds Shrine YouTube channel. This hour dissects the game of golf, which tees me off very much. Personally, I always carry 3 socks around the golf course, just in case I get a hole in one.
Tommy Boyds.
As we heard, allegedly the greatest golfing tournament, one of the greatest sporting events on earth, started about an hour and a half ago. Allegedly. If there ever was a valid place to stick the word allegedly into a sentence, it's right there. What a waste of space the US Masters is, and what a waste of time golf is. What a waste of a man's life. If ever you wondered just who was winning the battle of the sexes, you only have to look at the simple fact that women recognise golf for what it is, i.e. less than zero. They don't get involved in it. Half of them, no, nearly all women are relieved and delighted that most golf clubs deny access to women, at least to the club room. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I'm a sports fan, you're a sports fan. Everybody loves sport. The point is this, golf isn't a sport, and I can prove it. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Golf is about clothes. Golf is about tools. Golf is about rules. Golf is about sexual inadequacy. Golf is about anything you care to name. It's about real estate. It's about flora and fauna. It is about business management. It is about theatre. It is about anything you like, but sport, it just ain't. And now that the sport has acquired as its champion of champions, allegedly the greatest golfer who has ever lived, allegedly the greatest sportsman currently plying his trade on planet Earth, a man who is a complete robot, a man who was taught to play golf before the umbilical cord had been severed, a man who was forced by his father at the age of 3 to practice putting whilst his father tried to distract him so that when he became a great professional golfer, he would be able to live with the pressure. So his father at the age of 3 had him trying to finish off 9-foot putts in the garden whilst his father was saying distracting, obnoxious things to him. How is this man going to get through his life if Bjorn Borg went off the rails at 26 because the degree of focusing, the intensity that was required for him to achieve the pinnacle in tennis that he did was too much for any human being? Where is Tiger Woods going to be in 3 or 4 years' time? And where should the game of golf be in 3 or 4 years' time? It should be dispatched to the litter bin. Scotland has very little to answer for, being the most beautiful country on earth, being home of some of the people who have made some of the most magnificent inventions on earth. We wouldn't have telephones, and we wouldn't have roads, we wouldn't have bridges, we wouldn't have so many things if it hadn't Tartan, if it wasn't for the Scots. But please, will you take back golf? Will you have it back? Because we finished with it. The free call 0500 10 53 89. Golf is not a sport because it is a dead ball game. Golf is a dead ball game. And any sport where you start with the ball being dead is not a proper sport. Snooker and golf. I'm sorry. Well, one of them never travelled. That was snooker. So is it any wonder that the world champion is always British? Because we are pretty much the only country that tries the darn thing. The only country that begins to think it's a bit of a sport. But golf, for some reason, has flown the coop, has multiplied 1,000,000-fold. And the locusts that are this game are just tearing through, not just the British countryside and laying down these ludicrous artificial landscaped parks, which are a bigger blight on most of the escutcheon than your average building site, your average hypermarket, your average sink estate. But they've done it right across planet Earth. Free call 0500 10 53 89. It's not as though a golf course is a pretty thing. Not compared to a football stadium, for example. Free call 0500 10 53 89. We're discussing a dead ball game, which is not a sport. That's golf. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening.
The World Cup in France. Talk Radio. The conversation of the nation. Free call 0500 1053 89.
And it's boring. They never get into fights. They never fail drug tests. Matt calls from Hertfordshire. You're on Talk Radio. Matt, good afternoon.
Hi, Tommy. I think you're jealous because Tiger Woods is a lot younger than you, a lot richer than you, and all he has to do is knock a ball 300 yards and follow it. And that's all he has to do. And golf is a beautiful game as well because some of the landscapes where these golf courses are just tremendously beautiful. Being worked out so well and designed perfectly. Some of the places around the world are...
Matt, it's a dull sport for dull men.
It's not a dull sport.
Golfers are dull men.
It's something you do in your spare time. Well, have you ever played golf, Tommy?
I've had a go at it, yes. I wouldn't talk on any subject about which I knew nothing.
So why did you have a game of golf then?
To see what it was like, to see if it was any good, and it isn't.
And it's dull.
It's dull. It's very dull.
Do you like? Well, what other things are there? I mean, golf is a really beautiful game. I mean...
It is not a beautiful game. There's no beauty about it.
What do you mean there's no beauty about
None
it?
whatsoever.
Have you ever seen the landscapes? Have you ever seen the...
I don't like artificial gardens.
You've got beautiful trees, you've got rivers, you've got rockeries...
But it's artificial. It's artificial. You must know that the Tudors invented that kind of gardening, and I find mankind imposing
Tommy, it's a
himself...
lot better looking than some of the stuff that's natural. It's a
never.
lot better looking. You've got
Never.
wildlife. In
Never.
South Africa, Tommy, in South Africa, they got a golf course where you've got a par 3 hole, I think, which you knock it over, you have to hit the ball over a crocodile pit. And there's...
Crazy, that's crazy golf. You're talking about crazy golf. No, that's all right.
No,
I don't mind crazy golf
with full-size competitive golf courses here.
with windmills.
In fact, I think it's staged as the largest amateur golf tournament in the world. So...
How interesting.
Yeah, and you've got lions there and
How
everything.
interesting. Lions.
And they play it everywhere. I mean...
And they play it everywhere.
Sorry, Tommy, but sitting in a small room and slagging off one of the greatest games ever invented, quite frankly, I'd rather be playing golf.
I'd rather you were. The two of you are made for each other. A dull sport. Martin calls from Cheltenham. You're on Talk Radio, Martin.
Hello?
Sir.
Yeah, a few points I'd like to make. Well, golfers aren't actually sports people.
No.
I mean, sportsmen, like your footballer, they're fit. They can run. But
Yeah.
golfers, most energetic thing they do is swing a golf club. And then they walk a bit and swing another one. It's just boring.
It is.
I mean, it takes so long. Whereas a football match, like you're on there, 90 minutes, bit of action, it's quite exciting. Bit of golf, you've got to wait ages for the next person to swing his club. Oh my God, so exciting. It's just boring.
It is dull, isn't it? The same thing happens over and over
Yeah.
and over again, and they pick up a little bit of grass from the ground, and they lift it up and they drop it.
I know, each person takes the same shot and they all do roughly the same thing.
And-
It's just they hit their ball slightly further or not quite so far.
And the commentators say things like, "No, I think this is a 7-iron into the heart of the green."
How boring. I mean, it's just deciding which club to pick out. Which clubs are you going to pick out next?
And it's all luck, you know. I mean, Tiger Woods is not that good. It's mostly down to luck.
The people that play golf are rich people that aren't fit enough to play anything else, like
Now,
rugby.
This is a very important political point that you're making, and I'm very glad you've done that. Because it's only recently, you know, that they allowed black people to play at Augusta, which is where this Masters thing is going on.
Oh.
You know, and golf, particularly what they call country clubs in America, are still a little bit sort of KKK, you know?
I know,
Yeah.
it's disgusting.
It is. It's a rich man's sport, isn't it?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that they build completely artificial courses. They're nothing like the countryside at all. They're not beautiful. They're just built. They're artificial.
You think of all the truly genius sportsmen on earth, like Haile Gebrselassie, for example, the great Ethiopian runner. I mean, running is a magnificent thing, and he's done it better than anybody's ever done it, okay?
It takes effort.
He still lives with his mum. And the Mercedes that he won when he ran in Leipzig is still in the garage because he can't drive. Now, Greg Norman, I mean, what's he ever done? And he owns his own jumbo jet.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's awful.
it is. It's
I mean, they don't even break into a sweat.
It's decadent.
They just walk and they might get in their own little cart, which is
it's corrupt.
a bit of fun, I know.
They do.
Disgusting.
They do. And speaking of Greg Norman, you know that he's been implicated in Bill Clinton's sex scandals in the White House.
Well, that's probably a load of rubbish, though, isn't it?
Well, you know, at least it begins to make the sport vaguely interesting.
Well, yeah, a bit of scandal.
Martin, thank you for your call, and you make an important point. Golf is not a sport, and golf men are not sportsmen. You only have to look at them. They are all carrying a couple of extra stone. It's a simple fact, isn't it? That's why they ride around on those little buggy things. They can't even walk properly. Free call 0500 1053 89. Annette calls from Oxford. You're on Talk Radio, Annette. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tommy. Hello, love your show. Listen, right, normally I stand in my kitchen cooking dinner, arguing back to you, saying, no, I don't believe you, no. How can you say that, right? But today is the first day I've agreed with you. I have to phone you to tell you. I can't believe it. Someone else actually agrees golf is crap. Honestly, well, that's it. It's boring. There was a guy who phoned you, and I thought, wow, I was standing in my kitchen. I was really arguing with him, back to myself, no one's in the house. And there he is saying that beautiful countryside, can't agree with that, beautiful countryside, but it is ruined by these people playing golf.
Yep. Welcome to the programme, Annette. Stay with us. James is on the line from Perth, and he would like a word with you. James, you're on Talk Radio. James, hello.
What are you on about? It's a great sport.
Oh my God, it's not. It's a load of... My brother, right, we was brought up in the same house. He's gone off now. He's playing golf, thinks it's brilliant. I says, oh my, how can you sit there and play it? I just can't cope. I don't know how he can play it. It's so boring.
It's not.
It is little white balls and hitting it with a stick. How do you get excitement from that? Tell me.
You just do it. When you hit the ball sort of like really close to the hole or even get it in from 200 yards away, it's a great feeling.
Oh, well, I can't see it. I'd rather go and do gardening, night garden even more. I'd rather go and weed my garden. Honestly, I just think golf is
ridiculous.
Boring. It is, come on. Even Tommy agrees with me.
James, you're 5 down with 4 to play. I'm going to have to bring Michael in Liverpool to help you. Michael, you're through to Annette. What do you want to say?
Well, you were talking about... you talk about facts and you talk about golf and in the country clubs in America and the KKK. How do you know? Have you joined a club in America?
Yes.
You have?
Yes, I have, yes.
Oh, so you know, so it's factual what you're saying?
Yes, it is, yes,
well,
it is.
Yeah.
I'm a journalist, I wouldn't make stuff up.
Oh, you're a journalist.
Yes,
Big
I am,
deal.
Yes.
Big deal. What about football? Football's a game for greedy men, overpaid greedy men. It's a cop-out for fashion accessories. People wanting 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds for a shirt. Absolute rubbish. And actually, I'm very, very sorry. I think you're totally ignorant.
Well, Annette, I'm just astonished at this man's onslaught on me. I'm going to go back into the corner of the room and lick my wounds. Would you like to have a word with him? Would you like to have a word with him?
Well, I don't know what to say to him. I don't know any facts about it. All I know is that I have tried to play it, because we go on holiday with all the family, and I think, I'll try and get into it, I just think, I have to go. I say, I'll see you in the pub.
Have you tried to play football, kicking the ball into a net? What's so big deal about that?
No, I hate football as well.
It's absolute rubbish.
But we're on about golf.
Oh, no, we're on about golf. I'm talking about golf. I'm bringing... He said there was a game for men who were not fit, not for sportsmen. Football's a game for absolute yobs. And overpaid men. It's not a game for the working class man now. It's a game for overpaid footballers, overpaid men. It's absolute garbage.
Why do I have to put up with callers like this, Annette, honestly?
I don't know.
I mean,
week in and week out.
That's why I haven't phoned you before, because normally I'm arguing with you.
I see, yes.
Normally I'm arguing with you, and I don't agree with you, so I haven't bothered calling you, but I couldn't believe that you've got on a subject that I actually agree with you with.
Well, I'm glad you rang, and do ring again. And, Michael, what are these facts that people should know?
You said that in America, in some of these southern states in America, the country club, it is like a KKK. How do you know? Give me the facts. Not talk about hearsay. Oh, I've heard.
No, you see, you're like a golfer. You're a typical golfer. You don't concentrate.
The thing is, I've played golf occasionally, and I'm absolute rubbish at it.
I bet you are too.
Yes, I am.
I bet you're rubbish at football too.
Yeah, not really. You're rubbish as a host. You're absolute garbage.
Don't be cruel. That hurt. I'm only trying to explain to people why it's bad that black men aren't allowed to play golf in all the clubs in America.
Absolute rubbish. Black men aren't allowed to play golf.
But they're not.
You are an ignorant man.
But they're not.
Yes, you are an ignorant man.
Then can you name me any black golfers in America?
Yes,
Who?
Tiger Woods is one.
Yeah, well, we mentioned him.
Can you mention any black golfers in Great Britain? You talk about America being racist. Any black golfers in Great Britain?
Yeah, I mean, go on. That's a very good point. So what you're saying, right? So what you're saying is that there's racism in golf in Britain too.
You're bringing this into it.
No, that's very interesting. No, you see, now you've just shot yourself in the foot there. You see, you shouldn't have gone on. Sometimes people talk for too long, and then if you let them, you give them enough rope, and they hang themselves. So you're saying that golf is racist as well as sexist in Britain.
You're saying about black men in golf
because golf is sexist in Britain, isn't it?
What about black men in football? A few years ago, 20 years ago, we didn't have one. Where's the black managers in football?
What are you talking about? We had Albert Johansson, we had Clyde Best.
You're so ignorant, man.
Who did Albert Johansson play for then?
You're so ignorant, it's unbelievable.
Who did Albert Johansson play for?
He played for Leeds United.
Right, and how long ago?
It's a while ago.
Well, you asked me to name one, and I did.
One man.
I named two.
Man.
Well,
absolutely.
Ask specific. How many do you want me to name?
You're an absolute.
How many do you want me to name?
You're ignorant.
How many do you want me to name?
As many as you want.
Well, I haven't got time. I can't be bothered.
No, I know. I can't be bothered, really, because you're ignorant.
Yes.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I don't like golf.
No, well, that's okay. You don't like golf.
Yes.
Yes, well, okay. Well, a lot of us don't like football. It's overpaid. £50,000 a week some of them are on, aren't they? Absolute ridiculous.
Well, I bet you wish you could earn that playing football, don't you?
Pardon?
I bet you wish you could earn that playing football, don't you?
Not at all.
Oh, no.
No. I'm quite happy with what I've got.
Which is what?
Exactly. What I've got.
Which is what?
Material things don't worry me.
Oh, right.
I'm quite happy with the income I'm on.
Yeah, which is not a lot.
How do you know it's not a lot?
Well, no, I'm trying to have a conversation with you because you're not saying much.
No, you're not. You're just being ignorant again.
No, you see, you're not very good at arguing because all you're doing is insult people.
Listen, I'm not arguing. I could say you that you come on every day.
I could say that you are a repetitive, slow-witted, bird-brained ignoramus with very little going for you except your temperature.
Well, I'm sorry, but
if I were to do that, I would be descending to your level of conversation, and I'm not prepared to do that because I've made a number of powerful points about golf.
Who said you made powerful points?
I did.
I see. You're the big cheese, are you?
Well, I am on this show, yes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, a problem with that? I mean, if I came on your show, you'd be the big cheese.
I think you're just an ignorant man. I'm sorry, that's what you are.
But you haven't told me anything I don't know. He's gone. Yes, but he didn't slam the phone down. Get rid of the guy. Every time. Out of here. Missed the cut, pal. You missed the cut. Free call 0500 1053 89. Golf. I didn't know there was any passion in it at all. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening.
The conversation of the nation.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's an appalling pastime. It is a good walk spoiled, and I can prove it. Anybody in this country who's young and upcoming in sport will choose a proper sport if they can. If they're not and if they can't, they end up playing golf. All good sportsmen and women are pretty good at golf. I can't think of one golfer who's remotely good at any other sport. Free call 0500 1053 89. Claire calls from Heathrow. You're on Talk Radio. Claire.
Hi, Tommy.
Good afternoon.
I'd just like to say, going out with my other half is a golfer. And, I mean, while I've got the utmost respect for every single sportsman and woman in this country, I have to disagree with what you're saying. The man you had on about 10 minutes ago saying that golf is for rich people. I know millions of professional golfers who have struggled all their life to be able to play golf. They work, my boyfriend worked sort of 12 hours a day and then still had to practice in the evening.
Yes, there's still no excuse, otherwise the great train robbers would have been let off.
I'm sorry?
It's no excuse, otherwise the great train robbers, for example, who also came from humble backgrounds, would have been let off.
Yeah, but I think, the guy that was talking earlier was just, I think he's a bit sort of, it's all for rich people, and he's obviously not one of them.
But it is boring.
I have to admit, I don't enjoy watching it.
No, it's boring. No. And you don't enjoy playing it.
I don't mind watching the big tournaments like the Masters and that sort of thing, but I will admit, if you're not that deep into it, it is boring.
It is boring. Thank you, Claire. Tell your boyfriend that. Or change your boyfriend, one of the two.
Yes.
Martin, thank you. Martin calls from Dudley. You're on Talk Radio. Martin.
Good afternoon, Tony.
Good afternoon. I'm very well.
All right, just listening to your attack on golf there, a few points that I'd like to make. We're not all overweight and unfit. I'm 26-year-old, 6 foot, 11.5 stone, so I don't think they'd class me as overweight, and I do keep myself fairly fit.
11 stone's a bit much for 6 foot.
Oh, well, I'm not overweight.
Well, I think you've had about 10.8 is your ideal weight, so you probably could lose a few pounds, couldn't you?
Well, I have a 32-inch waist, so I'm certainly not fat.
But you've probably got a bit of body fat.
I'd rather say muscle than fat.
Well, you probably would.
Yes, and it's not always played by rich people, as the caller just said.
I didn't say it did. That was a caller. You'd have to disagree with them. I just said it's boring. It's a boring game for boring people. Are you boring?
Well, not at all, no. I like to have a laugh with the best of them.
I can tell.
I can't see how golf's any more boring than running. Now, watching people either run around a track or run over fields, no. I used to do a lot of cross-country myself, so I do know a fair bit about it.
Why did you do it then if it was boring?
Well, it's boring to watch. If you're not actually taking part in the sports, a lot of sports can be boring. A lot of football matches can be very boring until you get the 1 minute where somebody scores a fantastic goal. The rest of the match can be absolutely terrible. I think it's down to how you perceive either the game or the sport.
Let's be honest. When you pair sports away, you say, it's 22 men kicking a ball around a field.
Yes.
I mean, we know there's more to football than that, don't we?
There is a little bit more, yes.
No, there's a great deal more than that, isn't there? The personalities of the people playing the game, what it means to them.
Oh, come on. A lot of the personalities in the game are manufactured by PR agents and things like that. We don't see that.
Well, at least they've been manufactured. Can you tell me a personality in the game of golf?
Well, no, but it isn't a great game.
It's a dull man. No, it's a dull man's game.
No, it's not a game of great personality.
It's a dull man's game. For dull men.
Well, no, I can't agree with that.
Look at the clothes. Look at the clothes. Who wears V-neck sweaters? Golfers.
Quite a lot of
slacks.
Fashion victims.
Slacks. I bet you've got a man in Dudley who wears slacks, and you snigger about him, don't you?
Well,
so what do you wear on the golf course?
I think fashion it extends everywhere. It's not just on the golf course. If you go to municipal golf courses, you'll get people playing in jeans. Shirts. You'll even get them in football shirts.
You can't wear jeans on a proper golf course. You're not allowed to wear seams on the outside of your trousers. I've been asked to leave a golf course for that.
And I've been asked to leave for the same reason, but a lot of the municipal courses...
Have you ever had anybody asked to leave a golf course because they're dull?
Certainly not, no.
No, exactly.
Never had anybody too dull playing.
No.
Then again, there's dull people in every sport.
No, there aren't.
There certainly are.
Name me a dull boxer.
Name me a bright one.
Name me a dull boxer.
Well, name me a bright one.
Bright boxer? Gary Mason.
Gary Mason. Well, these people don't exactly exude intelligence, do they?
We're not talking about intelligence, we're talking about charisma.
Oh, well...
Has golf got a Nazim, a Prince Nazim?
No, he's a great character.
Has it got a Chris Eubank?
No, but I don't think they'd welcome one.
Has it got a Mike Tyson?
I certainly don't think they'd welcome one of those either.
Evander Holyfield's pretty boring, but at least he looks more interesting than he did.
Well, yes. But
Come on.
Where is Lennox Lewis's charisma? Where is his charisma? Now, when these people are speaking at press conferences and such like, they're often speaking from pre-written scripts.
Gosh, that's rubbish.
Oh, come on.
That's just not true. No, I'm sorry, I'm a sports journalist, I know my stuff.
Yes.
They are not speaking from scripts, pal.
Well, they certainly don't have a great deal of originality about anything.
Why don't you get any fights in golf?
Because I don't think the great majority of us go out looking for fights or violence.
They're dull men.
Well, do you go out looking for fights and violence?
And they've got well-filled bellies.
No, but do you go out looking for violence and fights? Is that what makes...
If it goes on, I want to know what's happening, yes.
But does that make a sport spectacular?
Yes.
So you're condoning violence in sport?
On the field?
Well, yes.
It happens. That's what sport is.
Are you condoning violence in sport?
Sport is stylised violence.
So you think it's fine for footballers, rugby players, even athletes, it has been seen, to fight?
You said that. I'm saying what I'm saying, which is that sport is stylised warfare. It is stylised violence.
And you agree that there should be violence there with it?
Well, have you ever seen people running at Jonah Lomu, the rugby player, within the confines of the rules? That's violence, isn't it?
Rugby is a contact sport.
But it's violence, isn't it?
It is in the strictest sense of the word, yes, but it is a contact sport.
Well, I do deal in the strictest sense of all words.
Yes.
Yes.
But you're saying that violence gives people a certain character, a certain edge.
It adds to the passion and the charisma of the sport.
So, as such, you're saying that
golf is
violence
boring.
in sport should be encouraged, and if golf wants to be one of the great sports, then we must start fighting.
We need more passion in the game. It's too friendly.
Yes,
we need some rivalries. We need to stoke up the rivalry between Woods and Els, because at the moment it's boring.
I can't remember the gentleman's name. There was a golfer a couple of seasons ago, and it was probably about the most spectacular thing that happened. We broke his putter over his knee. I don't know if you've seen the clip at all. And
Thousands of times. It's the only thing that's ever happened.
It was fine for that, for bringing the game into disrepute.
Yeah.
Disrepute.
Terrible.
Yeah, golf doesn't need violence. It doesn't need people to go around setting about one another. It's all personal choice. As I say, I've taken part in various sports, and I find a lot of them are quite boring to watch.
I don't know what your I don't know what your handicap is in golf, but you argue off about 24. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Martin in Dudley. And I've just been reminded that if anybody wonders whether there is still racism in golf in America and denies the fact that there is, I just refer them back to Fuzzy Zeller's comments when Tiger Woods won the Masters this time last year. Whoever wins the Masters gets to choose the menu at the dinner that precedes the following year's Masters. And Fuzzy Zeller expressed his concerns that next year Tiger Woods, being black or part black, would choose fried chicken and grits and watermelon as the meal for the pre-Masters dinner. He's apologised for it, and Tiger Woods has accepted the apology and says that if he ends up playing a friendly round with Fuzzy Zeller, he won't have a problem doing that. But that is a tip of the iceberg comment. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Graham calls now from Cardiff. You're on Talk Radio. Graham, afternoon.
Hello, Tom.
Graham.
I just like to say about golfers being incredibly dull on the golf course. I'm a greenkeeper.
Oh, are you?
And some of the things they get up to are absolutely incredible, Tom.
Go on.
If you put a sign up saying ground under repair, please do not walk on here,
yeah,
the first thing they will do is walk on it.
Straight across
and
it.
say, why am I not supposed to walk on this?
Yeah, I know.
Incredibly stupid people, Tom.
And
as soon as that bag was on their shoulder, their brain goes out.
Yeah, and they leave clubs lying around everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere. Tom, you won't believe the amount of clubs you've got now shed of golfers who've left them there.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of sets which we make up and we sell on.
Yeah. And they hit those balls, and they spend about 2 minutes. If they hit a ball and it goes into a bit of rough, they hit another one. And those balls cost about, what, £2?
Yep.
And they hit the ball into the rough, and they go, well, I'll hit another one in case I can't find it. And they spend a cursory sort of 30 seconds rummaging in the rough, and then go, I'll play my second ball.
That's incredible. That's right, Tom. If they land in the bunker's in the wrong place.
They should only be allowed one ball. This is my point. Shouldn't they?
Yep, and as soon as they lose it, they should leave the golf course.
And if you land in a bunker, you should be penalised a shot. Because most golfers nowadays can get out of a bunker more easily than they can get off grass.
If they can't get out of their bunker in one shot, Tom, they come back and they complain to the greenkeepers that the bunker was too difficult.
Oh, it's your fault, isn't it?
It's our fault if they can't get out of the bunker.
Mind you say golfers are stupid. What about greenkeepers?
Intelligent, Tom. Very intelligent, resourceful people.
The last but one round I ever played, I gave the game up. The last but one round I ever played, I hit a wedge to the 14th. The pin was set right on the right of the green, okay? And I was lucky. I got to about 6 feet of the pin. Then the greenkeeper and his assistant came onto the green, took the flag out, filled in that hole, walked right the way across to the other side of the green, opened up a new hole and put the flag in it, leaving me 30 yards from the pin. Are you with me?
Yep, I'm with you, Tom.
Is that stupid or very stupid?
Yeah, you should have played the ball the other side of the green.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have played the ball the other side of the green.
Anyway,
okay then.
Who's going to win the Masters?
Not too sure about it. Els, I think, still a good bet.
11-1. Graham, thank you for your call. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Bill calls from Birmingham. You're on Talk Radio. Bill, hi.
Hello there, Tommy.
Hello, Bill boy.
How are you today?
Do you know I'm well? How about you?
Oh, yes, wonderful. It's pretty sad, really, isn't it, Tommy, how people get so excited about golf?
Extraordinary, isn't it?
It is. It's balmy, don't you think? I mean, and the people you see going around playing in the rain, I don't think they're right. Playing golf in the rain, it's not an exciting sport at all. And it's true what you say. It is people who, you know, can't do any other sport.
Well, can't do anything because a number of my team have tracked down a number of oh, come on, say it. They reckon that golfers not only can't play any other sport. Well, all right, I'm not going to beat about the bush. They tend towards sexual inadequacy.
I think that if they get excited about golf, how boring must they be in bed?
Precisely.
That's the end of it, really, isn't it? You know, personally, myself.
Exactly.
I know. I think it's sad, really. You know, I wouldn't like to be with a golfer in the bedroom, male or female.
If you can't go for a passionate sport, then where can you find passion in life?
Exactly.
So that's the point.
It's depressing, really. Myself, I'm a bit of a bird brain and I love cheese. It's me again. But golfing, I've got to excite your show up, Tommy. There's some really boring people coming on it today.
Well, I don't know. Not compared to you.
But not compared to me. No, I'm exciting because I love cheese and I'm really happy that you like gorgonzola. But, you know, I just like to phone and excite your show up and get people, you know, thinking, oh, there's some mad people around as well as some sad people. That's all I'd like to say, Tommy. Keep it going.
Well, I'm so glad that you did. Free call 0500 1053 89. Paul calls from Dagenham. You're on Talk Radio, Paul.
Right, Tommy.
Sir.
Before I get on to golf, you said snooker's not a contact sport? A good sport either. There's nothing better you can do than going down the pub.
It's not a sport.
A snooker or pool.
It isn't a sport.
How isn't it a sport?
Because the ball is still.
No, it's brilliant.
No, but the ball...
all different breaks, you've got to do all different shots and angles, everything like that.
But the ball is still.
And there's characters in that as well.
No, but the... Oh, hello?
Hello?
The ball is still. And therefore, there is nil hand-eye coordination.
No. Anyway...
Do you know what hand-eye coordination is?
No, I ain't got a clue.
Do you have any coordination?
Yeah, I do. Anyway, golf.
Anyway, golf.
Yeah.
I hope the golfers are listening to the sort of calibre of support their sport is receiving here. We have Paul.
Yeah.
And there's a danger that any moment now Paul may have a conversation.
Yeah, if you stop talking, I will do. There's passion in golf as well.
There isn't.
How can you say that?
There's no passion in snooker or golf, and they are both dead ball sports. They are dead sports.
It's good. It goes on all the bunkers and that. How is it luck? Just to, like, say you hit a ball from 400 yards into a hole. That's not luck. You've got to be able to aim it up properly. You don't just swing a club at a ball and hope that it goes near it, do you?
That's exactly what they do. They hope for the luck of the...
They don't just hope.
Well, where does the phrase, the rub of the green, come from? I'm asking you a question. What does the phrase "the rub of the green" mean? I'm asking you another question.
Yeah, it means that you're getting luck with like hoping that the ball goes in the right place.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
But
which is luck.
Occasionally that, but you've got the principle of it to start off with to aim it up properly.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes, I suppose so.
And how can you say we're not good at other sports? I love playing football as well. I'm an avid Arsenal supporter. I tried to go to their matches. I like playing footballs on Sundays as well as I do golf, snooker and pole.
Well, I'm sure you'll be readily accepted in, amongst Arsenal supporters, Paul, in many ways. I'm not sure just which club you're going to find yourself in receipt of 3 proposals. It's usually 3, isn't it? But keep plugging away.
And
good luck with the golf.
Oi.
What do you mean, oi?
I thought you was going away then.
No, I'm not going away.
Right,
You are. Free call 0500 1053 89. We are discussing golf. No, we're not. No, we're not. We've got the knives out. It's as simple as that. Free call 0500 1053 89. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening.
1053 89.
And look at the sad celebrities who gravitate around golf once they've sort of had their first series on ITV, Jimmy Tarbuck. Free call 0500 1053 89. You'd never catch an alternative comic playing golf. And I think that speaks volumes. Steve calls from London. You're on Talk Radio. Steve, good afternoon.
Hi, Tommy. How you doing?
I'm well. Yourself?
I'm very well, thanks. What I'd like to say is, basically, first of all, I am a working class man. I work very hard. I play golf. I'm not very good. I enjoy being out there and I enjoy playing. What I'd like to say is, if you were a golfer, you would be worth millions and millions of pounds. And I say that because as a person, I don't like you, okay? But you are very good at what you do. You are very good. There are millions of people listening to you, including me, because you are good at what you do. Now, you should really have respect for every man and what he does for a living and how good he does it.
I'm talking here, Steve, about disproportionate returns for expertise.
Right.
Now, there are people who know just how to empty a bedpan.
Sure.
Who get paid less in their lifetime than Tiger Woods will be paid for 3 minutes worth of wearing a baseball hat with a swoosh on it this afternoon.
Sure.
That's disproportionate returns for expertise. Agreed?
To a degree, yes, I agree. They pay far too much money. But we're talking about the game of golf, not about how much money these guys earn. We're talking about the actual game. I personally think it's a beautiful game. I play, and I am absolutely useless. I belong to a club. I enjoy the game, okay, and I have respect for any man that can play a sport or a game, whatever you like to call it, and perfect it, which is exactly what you've done. You've perfected your profession because you have millions of people listening to you.
Yes, but golf is to sport...
And you earn loads of money because of it.
A fortune. Golf is to sport what plate spinning is to vaudeville, isn't it?
No, I disagree.
You just wouldn't miss it if they got rid of it, would you?
Obviously, you're doing very, very well for yourself.
You wouldn't miss it if they got rid of it, would you?
Of course I'd miss it if they got rid of it.
If they did...
I wouldn't miss you, Tommy. Wouldn't miss you. But I respect you for what you do. You do your job very well.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah. If they did away with your golf course, Steve, you'd have to take up a proper sport, and that would do you a lot of good. First of all, because you would meet more interesting people.
I've done lots of sports.
Yeah, well, you should go back to them, or are you getting a bit unfit?
I'm getting a bit unfit, I'm being honest.
There you are, you see, I told you it was a porker's game, didn't I?
No, of course it's not.
It's a porker's game.
You know, if you were a golfer, you would be very, very good.
I worry about your arteries.
Because I respect you for what you do, and you know...
And so you should. But I worry about your arteries. Where are you getting your cardiovascular activity from these days?
I play a bit of squash, very rarely. I play a bit of golf. I walk. And I have to say that although I don't like you as a person, I respect what you do.
Yes.
You know, you're earning your radio station loads of money.
Yes,
They come on and basically you don't honestly give your honest opinion.
No.
You entice people into arguments.
And what about the argument that golfers are sexually inadequate?
There you go, Tommy.
Well, how often have you had it this week?
Sorry?
How many times have you had it this week?
That's to know, really, isn't it? How many times have you had it this week?
I haven't, actually, since you ask.
Sorry?
I haven't, actually, since you asked.
You should get out on the golf course. You'll be amazed how many nice ladies you can find on the golf
course. It's the full moon tonight, but that's got...
Yeah. No, you're very good at what you do, Tommy.
Yes,
very good, and I respect you for that.
You told me that, and I enjoy that form of respect. Thank you, Steve, very much indeed for your call. Free call 0500 10 53 89. We're having a go at golf. It's easy. It's shooting fish in a barrel. And frankly, that's more of a sport. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening.
Talk Radio's Wireless Wedding.
And thus was heard how much was spent on the reception and the flowers and the taxis. And there was a wailing from the bank manager who spoke with voice to render the heavens asunder.
Change your tune. Change the sermon. Talk Radio are looking for one lucky couple to take part in the UK's first ever wedding live on national radio. We'll give you a 5-star ceremony at Amberley Castle, voted Britain's most romantic hotel, before Thompson Faraway Shores and Super Clubs jet you across to the Breezes Hotel in the Bahamas on a honeymoon you won't want to come back from. Plus, you'll get Samsonite luggage, a state-of-the-art sharp ViewCam video camera, and if you like, I'll even tell you what to do on your wedding night.
That's quite enough, thank you.
For full details on taking part and an entry form, pick up a copy of this week's Bella magazine. On sale now.
Talk Radio's Wireless Wedding.
Heavens above, there's a good argument for listening.
Chesterfield presents America's #1 dance band with America's #1 swing trio, Glenn Miller and the Andrews Sisters.
After almost 60 years, Glenn Miller and the Andrews Sisters are now heard together on record for the first time ever.
When they begin the begin, it brings back the sound of music so tender.
The Chesterfield broadcasts is the only disc Glenn Miller ever recorded with the Andrews Sisters and includes the classic hits Begin the Begin, In the Mood, and Oh Johnny, Oh Johnny, Oh.
Oh Johnny, how you can love. Oh Johnny, heavens above.
Get your copy of the Chesterfield broadcasts on CD at W.H. Smith, Boots, or at a record store near you now.
Hello there. I see you're interested in the Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, it's a lovely car.
Absolutely. Great handling, very economical, 16-valve engine.
Really?
And I expect you've noticed that it's got driver and passenger airbags, central locking, power steering, immobilizer, and 3 years manufacturer's warranty, all as standard.
Yeah?
And I think you'd agree it's superb value from only £9,995.
You know what? I think I'll buy one.
Really? I think I'll get one as well. Come on, let's go and find a salesman.
The new Toyota Corolla is the car that sells itself. Call 0800 777 555 to arrange a test drive at your local dealership. The car in front is a Toyota.
You got to hand it to Dixon's. They always pull out something extra special on the big occasion, and this Easter is no exception. They've got mega deals throughout the store. Offers so big they'll bring tears to your eyes, especially if you miss them. And as if that wasn't enough, there's a whole heap of mega deal voucher offers in the newspapers too. So keep your eyes peeled and your scissors at the ready for the Easter mega deals at Dixon's.
There's a great deal going on at Dixon's.
Talk Radio, the nation's interactive station. Recall 0500 1053 89.
So the Golf Masters has started in the United States a couple of hours ago, but why should that be part of the sports news? Chris calls from Pinner. You're on Talk Radio, Chris.
Hi. Earlier on you were saying about golfers are useless at other sports.
Which they are.
Well, I really do disagree with that. You know Lee Westwood? He's currently third or fourth favourite to win the Masters.
Yes.
Well, he had contract to sign for Nottingham Forest as a football player at age 14.
Yes.
And rugby as well.
So did David Frost.
Yeah, exactly. So how can they be useless at other sports if you're saying that?
Well, we don't know how good he was at football. I don't know if you know how bad David Frost is at football. It seems that you don't have to be much to go on schoolboy terms at the Forest.
Well, that could be true, but they're
Couldn't it?
First division team going up into the Premiership hopefully this year. I mean, sorry, but if you can play for their under 15s, under 16s, whatever, you've got to have a touch of class.
Well, I'd know about that, being involved as I am in youth football, and all you've got to show is a certain amount of promise, or maybe your dad knows the coach.
Well, that's true in any sport, isn't it, really?
Yeah, so there goes your argument about Lee Westwood being an all-round sportsman.
Well, fair enough, but I play nearly most of the sports that you can think of, really. And I think golf is one of the toughest sports, and I think, yeah, you don't...
It isn't tough, is it? You even get somebody else to carry the bag around for you.
Yeah, if you're a wealthy little person, yes, you do, but think about it, I mean...
Or you put it on a set of wheels, like a huge shopping trolley.
Okay, yeah, you're walking on a golf course for 4 hours, getting fresh air in your lungs.
Yeah?
Having exercise of your life.
Not having the exercise of your life. There's absolutely no cardiovascular benefit from golf whatsoever.
Well, you may say that, but excuse me, I'm the fittest person in my school. I'm currently in a shuttle test last week.
Yeah, well, how old are you?
15.
Well, at the age of 15, it's very difficult to be unfit, isn't it? What about that boy who just eats Marmite sandwiches?
Well, that's dead true, but...
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Well, I'm just disagreeing with the fact that I don't think... Yes, maybe your average golfer has got a belly or whatever, but that is...
Haven't they?
They're not playing golf every day of the week or
They're
whatever.
all flabby.
I mean, name one fat golfer.
Name one fat golfer?
Yes.
I can name two. John Daly.
No, that's not fat. That is mostly muscle, and he's agreed. He said that himself.
Give me a break.
He said most of it is flab. He said he's got a lot of muscle. He's 4 hours a day in the gym. All of them are.
They're all a little bit overweight. Very few of them work out. How many of them use the gym?
All of them. Gary Player, recently he played at the Buckinghamshire. In the
He
senior
had
tournament.
to because he was a short house.
Well, that's because he did so much exercise, really, wasn't it?
He just won because he was South African, and they're very determined, and that's the only thing that Ernie Els has got going for him.
Excuse me, but if anyone else has got rhythm like him in any sport, they'll make it.
Yes.
They're special, and I'm sorry, I really disagree with you about criticising golf. I think it's one of the best sports ever, and I think if you haven't played it, try it, and you'll fall in love with it.
Well, I have played it, and I didn't fall in love with it, and that's a very easy thing to do. Paul calls from Suffolk. You're on Talk Radio. Paul.
Hello, Tommy.
Paul?
You enjoying yourself ridiculing golf today?
Somebody has to do it.
Well, you're making a pretty miserable job of it.
Is that so?
I'll tell you a little story.
Oh, dear.
When I first played golf 20 years ago...
Oh, not a golfing story.
Yes, indeed. Not a golfing story, it's a saying, Tommy.
Go on then.
Golf's not a sport.
No.
It's not a game.
No.
It's a disease. Because once you're hooked, you can't get out of it. It's in your blood.
Like herpes.
No, not like herpes, Tom. And not like footballers either. I mean, who wants to be paid lots of money and dance around in front of thousands of people, falling over little knocks? Like, can you really enjoy that sort of thing?
Yes.
Do you like going to the stadiums?
It's a proper show. I love it. I love the atmosphere. I love the smell. I love the passion. I love the danger.
There's no comparison.
I love the camaraderie.
And the hooliganism.
I do. It's all part of it, man. It's all part of life. I can't think of anything that is less like life than
No
golf.
one's mentioned the banter you get when you go out in a four-ball. You like banter as much as anyone.
Banter? These boys don't banter.
You've never played in a decent
They
four-ball.
don't banter, man. They shot. That's it? That's banter? No.
No, I mean banter.
Gimme? Okay. Oh, what a
very
what a
naive attitude, Tommy.
What a laugh, what a laugh. I think this one probably wants laying up, and then you can take the burn with a wedge.
Tommy, there's millions of people out there that enjoy it.
I know. That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to shake up.
And they're gentlemen that play it.
No, they're not. They are. No, they're not. They are vacuous men.
No, they're gentlemen.
No, sir. There's a difference between being a gentleman and being empty-headed.
No, I disagree with you.
And passion-free.
It's one of the last sports.
It isn't a sport. The ball is dead. If the ball is dead, it is not a sport.
Well, you failed at it.
I didn't fail at it. Who told you I failed at it?
You couldn't do it. You couldn't succeed at it.
We
You
haven't
give
talked.
it up.
We haven't talked about whether one was any good at it or not. The reason I walked away from the game was because I found it dull. A dull game for dull men.
You had a bad experience, Tom.
Nope.
And most golfers accept that and have had plenty of bad experiences themselves.
And spend the whole of their life doing one thing.
Make themselves better.
Now, you've got to move on in life, Paul. You've got to be able to burn your bridges and move on and move away and move upwards. But I'm afraid golfers are still stuck there trying to score an 80-something.
Not moving up to football, Winston.
Right, who's going to win the Masters?
Well, I'll put my money on Lehman.
Free call 0500 10 53 89. The dullest man who ever walked the earth, Tom Lehman. Stand by for Peter Dealey, quite the opposite. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening.
This is definitely not Bob putting a funny voice on. Click like and subscribe to the Tommy Boyd Shrine YouTube channel, and we may get more Bob Staunton. Now, if you'll excuse me, I am going to stick laxatives in Tommy Boyd's coffee. If he won't call it quits, I'll make him strain with the squits.